How are you, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends? I am difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before we begin, you can find this podcast show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. This is the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real, uncensored, and shooting straight between the eyes. The third eye, that is. I am going to hit you with explicit truth. This solo show is outrageously honest and keenly witty with a view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every day when we wake up from sleeping. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. Let's get something straight. Really, really straight. I am truly, actually, habitually, and shamelessly difficult and demanding. And I completely own it. Now, I don't ask for much because I expect and receive it all. I firmly believe that if you expect shit, you will receive shit. What does that mean? Well, it means expect nothing but the best and don't settle for less. As always, I, your host, Tara, am keeping it real and uncensored. Are you ready for me? Your answer better be yes. Why do you think I call myself difficult and demanding? It's for a reason. Now that you have a better understanding, it is time to dive into the next episode of the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast. Why is true sexual fulfillment elusive for men and women? Finally, climb aboard and enjoy the entire show because I am giving you plenty of ridiculous honesty. Once the podcast episode ends, I am keeping it going on my Instagram page at Difficult and Demanding and on my Twitter page at Mrs. D and D. Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I want to talk about some real struggles that some women and men have. Women as far as orgasms and men as far as erections. Now, I'm not talking about people who are dealing with real medical issues. I'm talking about those people who are healthy, strong. There's no physical apparent issues, but one is still struggling with climaxing and or maintaining an erection to climax. And I want to ponder why. Why is it difficult to achieve? And a lot of people say that, the people, they're too much in their head. They're too much in their thoughts. And I think that is partly 50% of it's true. I would say a third of that's true. I would say another part of it has to do with the person that you are intimate or attempting to be intimate with and your whole chemistry. And another component, it has to do with some hang-ups, some insecurities. I don't know the best way to describe it, but I think there's a multitude of different things going on. Sex in general, great sex, is very messy. It's messy. And if you don't think that it's messy, or if you're saying that it's not messy, then I'm going to tell you that you're not doing the shit right. But whether it's saliva, secretions, sweat, whatever you want to focus on, sex in its basic form is messy. And some people don't find a lot of comfort with the level of dirtiness, messiness that's involved with a true sexual experience. It's dirty to them. It's dirty on many, many levels, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So if you are not comfortable with how your body performs or another person's body performs during the act of
fucking, sex, making love, that's going to create for a big wall, great reservations in regards to your experience. And then you have those who are in their head. What do I look like? What should I look like? Am I doing it right? Am I supposed to be feeling this? Should I feel that? Do I smell? Do I stink? What does this look like? You got all those different thoughts going on in your head. That's for a woman. And for a man, it's like, I can't stand her. She doesn't respect me. She's always stressing me out. She's nagging. She's complaining. You got those thoughts going on in your head. And then you have the chemistry between the two people where you probably like each other. You probably love each other, but your sexual connection is weak. It has waned over time. It's just, there's a lot of different things that are going on and we don't take the time to understand it. We'll pay a therapist or someone to help us work through it. And they do help. But I think we can help ourselves if we dive deeper with some introspection. So let's talk about women and why, I don't know, majority, half, whatever the number, I don't care what the number is, struggle with having an orgasm. Now, someone was like, I don't have a problem with orgasm as long as it has to do with outward stimulation, clitoral stimulation. There seems to be a small pool of women that can climax with penetration. And I want to know, why is that? Now, I know none of you can actually answer me, so I'm going to have to answer myself. But I've read a few articles where it says that women either have to get themselves off through clitoral stimulation or using some type of vibrator. Otherwise, they can't climax through penetration. And frankly, I think you're missing out. I mean, I think you're missing out. So where's the wall? I'm really trying to figure it out, because clitoral stimulation and vaginal stimulation, which means penetration, those feelings are completely different. With the clitoris, yes, it's more intense, it's more profound, it's strong. With vaginal stimulation, it's more subtle. The growth, the buildup of the feeling, it takes a little bit more time to get it going. And if you are accustomed to using vibrators or getting yourself off or having heavy clitoral stimulation, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for you to achieve orgasm through penetration. And then if you add in all the other components, am I wet enough? Is it comfortable or not? Should I be moaning? Should I do this? I don't like the way it looks. You have all these different thoughts going on in your head. Am I satisfying enough? He's not turning me on enough. Any and everything that can be going through your head. But I'm trying to help you bridge the disconnect. First of all, you got to chill the hell out. You really have to chill the fuck out. And you have to let go. Now, it may not be easy to let go because you have this, that, and the other that you have to focus on and take care of. But in general, if you're deciding to hook up, to be with someone sexually, there should be nothing else on your mind. There should be nothing else in your heart. And there should be nothing else on your body but the person you're with. Part of the reason why we have a trouble achieving climax, orgasming, is the fact that we are not present. We are not enjoying the person that's there, the energy that we're creating, the different sensations that's going on, and we're not surrendering to what is going on. We're trying to have control when we shouldn't have control. When we should let go, we don't let go. So there's a whole rhythm and dance that's going on that's fucking up your shit. Now, as with any situation, there needs to be a balance. If you have two people who are trying to run the fucking show, you're going to clash, and that's not going to work. If you have two people who are submissive, subdued, you're not going to get much shit going because no one's taking the lead. So as with any interaction, there has to be a balance. There has to be a yin yang. There has to be someone who is initiating, who's giving. There has to be someone receiving. Now that may go back and forth during the whole session, your fucking session. But there has to be a dance and rhythm. And if you've never seen two people together who have no rhythm together, who can't dance, it's going to be awkward as hell. It takes a lot of patience and understanding and kindness and respect to get the shit popping properly. So I'm asking you, do you find that sex is too dirty? Because yes, it does have a smell. Anyone who's had great sex knows that great sex has a smell. There is a smell. And some people have problems with that shit. The taste, the looks, the sounds, all those different things that go along with it. You got people who are keeping a list, a roster of all those different things that are going on. And they're running that shit through their head. My thing is this. If you're with someone and you can't tune all the way into them and let yourself go, flow into them, you're fucking with the wrong person. Because to have great sex, you have to have a level of comfort and trust. And if you are not comfortable and you don't have trust, which feeds into your connection, you're going to have a mediocre experience. That is why I constantly say, be careful who you fuck. Because if you're fucking the wrong people, you may climax, you may orgasm. But when you walk away, you leave, you will feel depleted. You will feel like, did I just fuck somebody or not? It won't have the same impact. It won't have the same effect. Because you're fucking with people who are sucking you dry. And yes, you had a temporary orgasm, but that orgasm wasn't fulfilling. It did not hit that spot that makes you go, what the fuck just happened? To get what the fuck just happened, you gotta have a whole lot of components that lines up. And first and foremost, you gotta have two people who want to fucking be there. Who want to please and who wants to get pleased. Who doesn't care what they sound like, what they smell. They don't give a fuck about anything but enjoyment. Pure, utter enjoyment. Not where your hair strands are. Nada, nothing. Can you let go like that? Can you set yourself free like that? Have you ever tried? A lot of us like to fantasize about all these different things in our head, but I'm telling you, to have an orgasm through penetration for women, you really have to focus on that area. And when I say focus on that area, I mean you have to focus on the feeling of what you get. And you're saying, well, I don't feel much of anything. You think you don't feel anything because you're not used of how that fucking treasure box of yours, how it works, how it functions, how it builds, where different sensations come from. You're not familiar with it. And until you get used to it, there's no way for you to fully understand what it can do for you. But the more clitoral orgasms you have, I am 98% sure it's going to make it difficult for you to have orgasm through penetration. Now, I'm not saying that you should not masturbate, and I'm not saying that you should not have clitoral stimulation or orgasm. What I'm saying to you is, if you're using vibrators or things that have a profound mechanic robotic approach, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to achieve manual orgasm with someone else through clitoral stimulation. And if you got it in your head that you could only climax through getting your clit rubbed, it's going to make it very difficult for you to have an orgasm through penetration. You see, when you let go of all expectations and just go with the flow to enjoy whatever's being done and focusing on the waves of pleasure that you're getting, when you're present and you're focusing on the waves of pleasure that you're getting, you will find that you will get sensations that you did not notice before. And when you focus on those sensations, you will find that they build and they get stronger and stronger and stronger. But to have a really great orgasm through penetration, you have to be mentally, emotionally, physically present and focusing on that area as you're getting fucked. And whatever switching and twitching and gyrating you need to do to get to hit the right spot that you like, you need to do that shit. You're not going to be able to lay there through and get vaginally penetrated and think that you're going to climax that easy unless someone knows what the fuck they're doing and they know how to hit your spot and read your reactions and your actions. Can you let go? Judgments, stress, thoughts, what it should be, how it shouldn't be. Can you let go of all expectations and enjoy all that you're feeling? Can you surrender your thoughts of, I can only come by having my clit rub? Can you let that shit go? Because if you can let that shit go, you will open up a world of opportunity, of enjoyment. Now, men, some of you are struggling with maintaining your erection. And I'm not talking about those who have medical issues. You're struggling because you don't feel like the man that you are. You feel like you've become somebody's bitch. Life's bitch, your wife's bitch, your girlfriend's bitch, your career's bitch, whatever the case may be. You're not feeling like a goddamn beast. When you feel limp, your dick will be limp. When you feel like a beast, like a man, your dick will respond accordingly. Your erections come through your mind. Well, you're saying when I was younger, the shit used to work on its own. The shit worked like that when you were younger because you felt invincible when you were younger. You felt powerful. You felt all-knowing. You thought you could do anything, be anything, and fuck anything that you want. Do you still think like that? Do you still feel like that? No, because life has happened. So if you want your dick to perform in accordance to how you want it to perform, you got to have someone who knows how to tap into that mind of yours and make you feel like the ultimate man. Because when you feel like a man, your testosterone, your body will start to move and produce in a way that you're quite familiar with, if you happen to be a lucky one. But if you're going through disappointment, rejection, criticism, pressure, whatever, all that's going to do is compound your difficulties, and your dick is not going to be a team player. You got to have a woman that stokes and strokes your goddamn ego and pride. She needs to feed that shit. Because when she feeds your ego and pride and makes you feel like a goddamn king, you will feel like a king. And when you feel like a king, you're going to want to fuck like a king. It may happen overnight. It may slowly happen over time. But a man needs great confidence, lots of respect and appreciation and validation if you want his dick to perform for you. And if you treat his dick like it's a stepchild, you don't want it, you don't like it, you don't need it, you don't like the way it looks, you don't like the way it smells, you don't like the way it motherfucking makes sound, whatever, that's going to correlate or come out in how you treat him and it. And over time, it will become what you do not want, which is limp. So why don't we just get it together and start helping one another? Because when a man feels like a man, he's going to be ready, willing, and able to want to satisfy you. But for him to satisfy you, you got to relax as a woman and chill the fuck out and let him explore. Tell him what you want. Tell him how you want it. Tell him when you need it, why you need it. And then you let him act. We as women need to be women. And men need to be men. Masculine and feminine, we balance each other out. But the problem is we're overlapping our energies and we're not balancing each other out. So you got a man with a limp dick and you have a woman, her treasure box is not opening, it's not working, it's dry as hell. And over time, that shit just compounds. But if a woman comes with tenderness, feminineness, respect, desire, all the things that she wants to see from a man, if she slowly shows him that, seduces him, entices him, intrigues him, what that will do is that will stoke his fire and bring him back to life. Yes, what I'm saying to you is we as women hold the keys to our happiness kingdom. And if you know which key to use, when, how, and why, you can create the reality that you're looking for. But you may find out that you're with the wrong motherfucker and you need to find somebody else. That's true too. But if you're with the right one, what I'm telling you will work. And he will reciprocate and give you what you need. But we have to go with the flow. Sit the fuck back and relax. We cannot tell a man what to do, but we can guide a man on what to do. And when he does it and when he does it well, we need to appreciate him, show him how much we love it. It made us happy. And then he'll want to do it more. At the end of the day, a man wants to make a woman happy. And I believe a woman wants to make a man happy. So if one of you takes the initiative to go about bringing pleasure, bliss, and happiness, in turn, it's going to make a normal, balanced individual want to give that back to you. Negativity feeds negativity. Positivity feeds positivity. And your sexuality is just waiting to be tapped open for you to explore. But you have to find out what's holding you the hell back and what's stopping you from achieving what you want to achieve. Do you want to have sexual liberation within yourself so you can enjoy it to the utmost? Because with sexual liberation, you will know up front who you want to touch you and who you do not want to touch you. Now, we all have different preferences in life as far as the potency of our sexual encounters. Me, I'm going for 100 proof. That's 100 proof alcohol. I want the strongest, the most powerful. That's what I seek. But that may be too much for others, and that's okay too. You have to determine what works for you and what doesn't work for you. But to do that, you actually have to take a moment to feel things out. What you like, what you dislike, what you want, what you don't want. And then you have to surrender and let go. And as a man, if you have a woman who cannot stroke your ego and your pride, then either you need to do it for yourself or you need to find a way to get your manhood back, because no man should go about living life without feeling like a man. And no woman should go about living life as a woman and not feeling like a woman. Feeling like a woman is one of the most wonderful things you can have. And feeling like a man is one of the most wonderful things you can have. And if you don't feel like a man and you don't feel like a woman, you're missing out on a big, vital part of life. And you want to get that back. You want to have that. You want to be that. And that will give you even greater sexual experiences. Now, I think as women, we can learn something from men. And I think men can learn something from women in regards to greater sexual fulfillment. Typically, when you think of sexual fulfillment, a lot of emphasis is placed on how men are readily and able to achieve a climax. And, people take it as, men are wired differently. Men are dogs. Men only think of sex. Men only think with their dick, whatever. All of it is a bunch of bullshit, because we need each other's energy. We need each other's presence, meaning the masculine and the feminine. I think women, we can learn something from men, because men have a keen ability to laser in and to focus on what they want. And when it comes to sex and enjoying it, they are laser sharp. They're laser sharp, which is why they are able to achieve orgasm, because they are enjoying what they're feeling. They're enjoying what they're getting, and they're focused on that very intently. But we as women, we're worried about every goddamn thing besides what we're feeling and what we're enjoying. We're worried about the man. Are we pleasing to him? Are we giving him what he wants? Do we look a certain way? Are we sounding the right way? But men, they may think about that, but they wipe that shit from their brain, and they focus on, how does my dick feel? And I think as women, we can take a few notes from that. We need to start focusing on our treasure box and how it feels, whether you're getting rubbed on your clit, your outer lips, or you're being penetrated. You need to focus on that area. Don't concern yourself too much about how you look, how you sound, how you feel, what he thinks, what he don't think, fuck all that shit. What you need to do is, if you decide to spread your ass for somebody, for them to enjoy and for you to enjoy them, that I would suggest you focus on your enjoyment. Did you hear what I said? Your enjoyment. Because you got to understand, most men are going to get theirs, but it will give them even greater pleasure if they could fulfill you and see that you're enjoying yourself. And in order for you to enjoy yourself, you have to basically focus on yourself. So if you focus on you and feeling the sensations, the pleasures that he's giving you, and he's seeing how pleased that you are with him, that's going to make him even hornier, hotter, desirable, passionate. Yes, listen to what I said. The more you focus on you as women, and you enjoy what you're getting in the sexual experience and not even focus on the man, he will get off on watching you enjoy what is going on. And the more you enjoy, the more he enjoys. The more he enjoys, the more you enjoy. And you feed off of one another. All you have to do is focus on being a woman, not giving a fuck about what you feel, what you see, what you smell like, what you sound like, and enjoy it. You will find this guy, this motherfucker, jumping through hoops of fire just to bring you pleasure, because the more hot you get, the more hot he's going to get. And the more you focus on how you feel good, you're going to climax, you're going to orgasm. And so will he. And if y'all two really lucky motherfuckers, you will come at the same goddamn time. What is the moral of the story? Women, stop worrying about everybody else. Stop trying to take care of everybody else, and learn how to take care of your own self, your damn self. Learn how to enjoy your pleasure. Enjoy it. Be in the moment. The shit's not going to last forever until you get together the next time. So why not make the most of it? Don't think too much about how your ass look, your thighs look, whatever. If he chose to sleep with you, that means you are more than enough. And you need to be comfortable with that. Now, if you have some insecurities about doing this, doing that, from this angle, that position, I'm telling you, let it all go. Let it all flow. When you decide to get ass naked at that point in time, you should have realized that you signed some type of invisible document that says all bets are off. So if you agree to fuck somebody, have sex with them, why you want to have all these fucking rules and all these things going on in your head? Shit, let it go. If he likes it, he likes it. If he loves it, he loves it. If he doesn't give a fuck about it, who the fuck cares? He's not going to be paying attention. He's going to be worried about feeling good. And so the fuck should you? We judge ourselves too harshly. So women, what are we going to learn from men? We're going to learn to focus on our damn selves and what we feel, how we feel, and direct our mental energy to feeling what the fuck is going on between our legs. Because the more you focus on that, how it feels good, how it's radiating through your body, you will get closer and closer to having a vaginal orgasm and not just a clitoral orgasm. Now, men, what can you learn from women? What I think you can learn from women is slow the fuck down and enjoy the moment. You see, as a woman, we have a tendency to want to generally be aware of all that's going on around us in our environment. And I think if you start paying attention to this sensation, this movement, this breath, and you actually focus outside of your dick, you will find that you will get a much stronger orgasm. It's not about just pleasing the woman, kissing her here, touching her there. No, you want to imbibe her. You want to intertwine with her. I'm not talking about marriage. I'm not talking about commitment. This is for people who are hooking up. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you want to focus so intently on her that she feels like she's the only goddess on this earth. The more you focus on her and her energy and how she moves and makes sounds when you do this and this, it will give you information. It will make you want to prolong the experience and enjoy it for as long as possible. Not just bang, 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 come, bang, 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 come. No, you don't have to bang, 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 come. You can, or you can extend the shift for a prolonged period of time, because the longer you go at it with enjoyment and pleasure, the greater your orgasm is going to be. The more it's going to fucking pop a fucking vessel, a vein in your goddamn brain. So men, slow the fuck down. Women, focus on yourself. And feed off of one another. It's like a dance. And you will be astounded on how it changes everything. But you got to tune into each other. We really do. Men, you got to give what you have to give. And women, you have to give what you have to give. Women, we have the ability to set the tone, to set the stage. Men are there for us to cultivate, to guide, for them to give us what we want. But we have a tendency to do it the wrong goddamn way. You can stoke a man's flame to get him fucking roaring like a wild animal, or you can make him very gentle, calm, and loving. We have that feminine ability. The problem is that we don't know how to use it. And we come across as bitchy, nagging, unappreciative, and unhappy. But if we learn how to speak our feminine language in a way that appeals to a man, you'll be amazed at what he's willing to do for you and for how long he's willing to do it for you. So my next question is, do you think coming is the peak of fucking? You're saying, yes. What the fuck is the point? Theoretically, I believe coming is very important. But you will find there's a number of times where you come, you climax, but as I said before, it's not as fulfilling, as nourishing, as titillating and exhilarating as other times. If you go back and think about the different times that you have orgasm, for those of you who are orgasming or has one, have you been able to pinpoint what the actual difference in that experience? Why one was more profound than the other? You're saying, well, Tara, I was fucking horny as hell, and that's what it is. Yes. But unless you're by yourself, no, I'm talking about when you're with another, or for some of you, many others at the same goddamn time, whatever. Do you know what is feeding that experience? Do you know what makes you lay the fuck back and say, wow, what the fuck was that? And can we do that shit again? You see, once you figure out the recipe on how to recreate that experience, it becomes a very, very fun journey. One that you have the steering wheel over. Yes, you have the steering wheel over. A lot of you see someone, you think you're hot, they're hot. You're drunk, you're horny, whatever. You go there, you fuck, you do all this, that, you're enjoying one another. But I'm telling you, there's a way to really enjoy. When you see that you got someone all wrapped up in ecstasy, sexual ecstasy, you want to prolong that shit. You want to increase it, decrease it. You want to play. You want to be a fucking sexual puppet master. You want to be a maestro. You want to turn it up. You want to turn it down. You want to go left. You want to go right. You want to come from all different angles, because all that is stimulation. It's sexual stimulation. And the more you can titillate and stimulate a person, the more you're going to blow their goddamn mind. And even if for some reason they don't happen to come, they're still going to look at you like, what the fuck is that? And what is your motherfucking name again? That's what you want people to say. Tell me your full fucking name. Give me your fingerprints, your date of birth, and your social security number. That's how much you want to blow a motherfucker's mind. You want to be a goddamn sexual shape shifter. You want to be a sexual chameleon. You want to be able to mold and flow and enjoy, because each person has a different vibe. Each person has a different energy. And you have to be able to ride that shit to make the most of it. But if you're going in with the same cookie cutter, plain Jane, vanilla shit, you will get boring. People will get sick of you. You will get sick of you. You will say, where the fuck did the spice go? The spice went because you are trying to be a one pony, one trick show, and that's not going to work. You want to be fluid sexually. And when I say fluid, I don't mean sleeping with men, women, whatever. You can do that shit too. It doesn't matter who you sleep with. If the person is alive, that means they have an energy, an aura, a personality with them. And you want to be able to flow and go with that so you can enjoy. It's like trying different types of chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. It's all chocolate. But each one tastes different. And that's the same with dealing with people, especially sexually. Me, being attracted to you physically, that's very important to me. But there's a lot of motherfucking attractive people. Next, I want to get to your brain. How does your mind work? Can your mind get me going? Can you get me going with your words, with your mind? If I fucking blindfolded my eyes, engaging with you, would you be able to get me going by me not even looking at you? If I was blind? That's something to think about. I want so much stimulation and titillation from someone that I want to make sure that all my 5 senses are covered. If you just like someone visually, but you can't stand to hear them fucking speak, you don't like the way they fucking smell, they happen to be the best option at this time, I'm going to say you're going to have a limited sexual experience. I'm going for someone who appeals to me on all my goddamn 5 senses. Taste, smell, sight, touch, hearing, all that matters to me. But I'm an intense person. Not a lot of people are intense as me. And my shit is watered down right about now. I'm not even at 100% full, at a full strength. I'm intense. So I'm not for everybody. But you want to be the best you can be, the most potent you can be. Like I said, when people walk away from me, I want your head to do a fucking 360 turn to look back at me. Then I'll kick you the fuck out and you go about your business. Unless I want you to stay. Look, my motto is you go hard, you go home, you stand the fuck up, or you sit the fuck down to get out the way. That's how I live my life. Hey, to each his own, but I'm just saying, is coming the end all be all? No. If you want the best orgasm that it lasts, it just feels like it keeps going and going like a fucking earthquake, tsunami through your body. You want to get as much stimulation as possible. You want to prolong it. You want to bring it up. You want to bring it down. Bring it up, bring it back down. Don't go to climax really soon. Enjoy the moment. Be present. Don't rush the shit. Take your time. You'll be amazed at what you find. So I have a question for you guys. Have you ever came at the same time with someone? Some of you saying yes. Some of you saying I've tried. Other you saying hell no. How the fuck you do that? Oh gosh, we are amazing as people. We are absolutely amazing of how different and how similar we are. There is a way to climax at the same time, but it requires being really in tune with the person you're with. And men and women build up sexually different. Men build up really fast. Women build up very slow. So it was very important for the man to get the woman preheated. Yes, she needs to be preheated as much as possible so that when you actually get down to business, you want to be at an equal playing field and you go from there. But it requires a lot of focus. It requires a lot of attention, and it requires giving to one another and being, like I said, present. You can't be thinking about what you're doing next, who's supposed to be calling, who you need to text, what you need to read. No, you need to be present in the moment. And if you have the opportunity to experience coming with someone the same goddamn time, it's a wonderful, amazing experience. But it cannot be achieved easily. And it's not going to be achieved readily. And when I say coming at the same time, I mean vaginal penetration. Yes, you guys are interconnected with one another. Because when you're coming at the same time, that's going to increase your connection and being together. Now, most of you people who are hooking up, it's going to be very, very difficult to achieve that with someone you just met, you don't give a fuck about, and all you want to do is fuck. But this is for people who actually care about the person they're with. They have a connection, they have a relationship, and there's a bond. So it's something that you want to work towards. So how do you match your partner's level of intensity? There's some people who are freaky as fuck, and they hide that shit for fear of how people may react, how they may respond, because they don't want to get rejected. And they don't want to be outed out by being super nasty and super freaky. So how do you gauge that? How do you match that? How do you know that I can open up and be who I am sexually with someone? How do you do it? How do you feel them out? Some of you are into anal play, some of you are not. How do you determine that is it okay to do this with this person or not? Because there's some people who have done a lot of things and some people who have not. How do you level out the playing field with someone who has less experience, with someone who has more varied experience? How do you level that out? One thing I would say is some circumstances you're not going to be able to level it out. Because the person that you're fucking with or messing with, they're not open-minded, they're not comfortable, they're not interested, they don't want to explore, and it is what it is. It's not right or wrong. But if you meet someone who is open-minded and you want to explore different things with them, you need to have a level of trust and respect. You're not going to be able to explore sexually with someone where you are lacking, there's lack of comfort, there's lack of respect, there's lack of appreciation, and there's lack of trust. These are basic components to being a human being, which most of us, we don't do this shit. So that's why we miss out. So if you're interested in exploring so many different things with someone sexually, you want to make sure you have a sound human foundation. Because you don't want that person walking away feeling cheated, feeling used, abused, exposed to something they weren't ready for. Because if you do some shit with someone and they're not ready for it, they could feel victimized. They could feel really bad. That can mess them up for the rest of their life. And you don't want that shit on your back carrying that from that experience. So how do you match your partner's intensity? You start low. You build a rapport. You build a bond. You have communication. You speak openly about what you want, what you don't want, what you like, what you don't like. And if a person's not comfortable talking about it, then you take tiny, tiny baby steps to see how they react, how they respond. And you go from there. So how do you steer the passionate flow between you and your partner? Yes, the passionate flow means the energy, the sexual energy. How do you build it? How do you cultivate it? Some of you, you're not in the mood. You've had a stressful day. You don't feel like fucking. You're distracted. You have a lot of work to do. And your partner wants to make love with you, wants to fuck you. Do you know how to tune into your partner's energy? You're saying, well, I don't give a fuck about the energy. I'm tired. I had a long day. I'm stressed. I don't want to be touched. I'm doing this because I'm being nice. Don't fuck somebody or let them fuck you because you're nice. Having sex is a wonderful gift that the world has given us. And even if you don't really feel like being in a mood, you can shut things down and tune it out to focus on the person you care about. Because whether you know it or not, it will relieve your stress. It will alleviate your worries. It will take that edge off of you. So if you got someone who's horny and ready to go with you and you're not in the mood, I would say feed off of their energy. Use it to help make yourself feel better. Relax, let go. Let them make you feel good. Let yourself escape. Because once you focus on how they're making you feel, you will find that your worries, everything melts away, and you will become more horny, more passionate, more desirable, and you will level out. We have to learn how to feel what we feel, trust what we feel, and also allow other people's feelings to wash over us to make things better. We don't have a problem with people making us angry, anxious, and upset. but we're reluctant to let someone's sexual energy and their horniness wash all over us. Why not? We're human. Why be deprived? Life deprives us so much more than we need to. So we need to chill the fuck out and try to get our bliss and our stress relief any way that we can get it. We should really consider that. So did you know that you can communicate to your partner without words, just using your thoughts? Yes. Some of you people are fucking and you're not present. You're thinking about somebody else, or you're thinking about something else you'd rather be doing. Do you know that shit comes across? And that's why your fucking session is lackluster. It's mundane. It's routine. It's basic. Whatever energy, thoughts you have, you can channel that while you're making love, you're hooking up, you're fucking someone. You can actually talk to them. You're thinking, this shit sounds crazy out. It is. If there's something you want to say to someone, but you don't want to say it verbally, you can think it over and over and over intently in your head while you're kissing, you're making out, and they will feel what you're saying. Now, they may not be able to decipher the message, but depending on what you're saying and the intensity of it, it will come across very much so. So if you want to tell someone, I think you're the hardest fucking man alive, if you just keep saying that over and over in your head as you're kissing them, they will pick that shit up. If you want to tell them that my pussy is the best pussy you will ever motherfucking have in your life, you keep saying that shit and it will come across. You're saying, Tara, you're crazy as hell. I know I'm crazy as hell. But if I'm telling you, if you focus, like chant that shit, focus on it like it's a bullseye and say it over and over and over again, it will come across in everything you do, your energy, how you feel, and the person you're with will love that shit. If you want to tell someone, I'm angry with you, you pissed me the fuck off and you're going to make it better. I'm angry with you, you're going to make it better. Say it over and over again as you're kissing them. That shit will come across and it will be hot as fucking hell. Try it. But you got to try the way I said it. Don't do it half-assed. You got to really, really focus on it. Like it's something that you really want to tell and you keep saying it over and over and over and over again. They will pick up. They might ask you, what are you doing? They may ask you, why are you different? You may choose to disclose that secret or not. But I'm just telling you, this is a nice way to spice up what you're doing in the bedroom. Some of you like to change your outfits, put on lingerie and wigs, but this is another way psychologically that you can get to a person. Because if you don't have access to your wigs or your lingerie, how do you spice that shit up? You spice that shit up by sending messages, your intent, and see how that plays out for you. Can you imagine the effect of communicating with thoughts and touching during sex? Yes. Your mind is a very powerful thing and your touch is equally powerful. I believe you don't go around touching anybody unless you want to touch them as deeply as you motherfucking can. Otherwise, don't touch me. If you're not coming to touch me, don't motherfucking touch me. Confusing, but I think you get what I'm saying. Don't be half-ass. No, you go hard or you go home. Life is meant to be enjoyed to the fullest. And I've told you some tidbits, some secrets on how you can do that. Relax, chill the fuck out. If you chose to make love, hook up and fuck with someone, enjoy that shit. Don't be distracted by all your other stresses and worries. No, be in the moment. Focus on your pleasure. Focus on receiving your pleasure. And it will give the man much more pleasure. He will want to please you. Take ownership of your sexuality and your pleasure. Don't be ashamed of it, how you sound, what you look like, what you smell like, what you feel like, what you taste like, whatever. If he chose to be in bed with you or she chose to be in bed with you, then all bets are off. This is what the fuck it is. Now, if you don't like it, get the fuck up and go. Otherwise, let's do this. Get out of your mind. Get out of your issues. Get out of your insecurities. No one's perfect, and just let it go, flow, and enjoy yourself. So if you have any questions, you know where to find me. If you have a story you want to submit, you may do that also at any way you choose to. Make sure you check out my new website. It's called Sheba's Dungeon. That's www.shebasdungeon.com. You may enjoy it. You may not. I always do things over the top, but check it out. You can continue to visit or you may not. Whatever. But please tune in next week and I hope you've learned something. If you thought it was all bullshit, I'm okay with that too. At least you won't forget me. I'll talk to you all next week. Bye. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and let me know what you think about this episode and my podcast. You can try and slide into my DM, but I will kick your ass out. So I suggest you hop into my DM on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding or Twitter at Mrs. D&D, or leave a comment on one of my posts. Episode 82 is here on June 14, 2019 from the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast.